Have you ever pondered why monogamous marriage holds such a significant place in Christian beliefs? The answer lies at the very heart of God's design for marriage, a delicate balance that underscores the sanctity of marital fidelity. This balance is composed of three key elements: fidelity, integrity, and the resistance against temptation. Together, they form a protective hedge around the sacred institution of marriage. At the core of this triad is fidelity, a steadfast dedication to one spouse that is both a testament to love and a reflection of our commitment to God. This fidelity is echoed in the wisdom of Proverbs, where it is written, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord." This verse emphasizes the divine blessing bestowed upon the marital union, illuminating the precious nature of this covenant. Alongside fidelity, we find integrity. This is the moral fiber that keeps our actions aligned with our promises, ensuring that our words to our spouse and to God carry weight and truth. It's the glue that binds our actions to our words, adding depth to our commitments. Lastly, we have the resistance against temptation. In a world filled with distractions and desires, this resistance is a testament to our unwavering commitment to our spouse and, by extension, to God. It's a shield protecting the sanctity of the marital union from the lures of the world. Yet, just as the harmony of these elements safeguards the sanctity of marriage, their breakdown can lead to a cascade of spiritual and moral decay. The Apostle Paul warns us, saying, "But each person is tempted when he is lured and enticed by his own desire." This highlights the perilous journey away from divine will that begins with the erosion of fidelity. As we can see, the erosion of fidelity sets us on a perilous journey away from divine will. This brings us to the importance of maintaining the sanctity of marital fidelity, a cornerstone in God's grand design for our lives. But what happens when we deviate from the path of monogamous marriage? Well, the story of Solomon, famed for his wisdom, provides a sobering lesson. It's a tale that shows us the cyclic nature of faithfulness to God, ethical living, and societal harmony. Solomon, despite his wisdom, succumbed to the allure of multiple marriages. This choice led him down a path far removed from God's design. For when Solomon was old, his wives turned away his heart after other gods. 1 Kings 11:4. This departure from monotheism was not only a personal affront to God, but it also began a negative feedback loop that disrupted the harmony of his kingdom. You see, our actions, our choices, they're not isolated incidents. They're part of a larger, interconnected web. Like a stone thrown into a pond, the ripples spread outward, affecting everything in their path. Solomon's choice to marry many wives, his choice to stray from God's design, it didn't just impact his personal relationship with God, it had far-reaching effects, rippling out into his kingdom, causing spiritual and societal disharmony. The disobedience of Solomon serves as a stark reminder of the cyclical nature of our actions. When we deviate from God's design, it starts a cycle of spiritual and moral decay. The erosion of our fidelity to God's plan, the degradation of our moral integrity, these are not just personal failures. They ripple out into our communities, disrupting societal harmony. And just as Solomon's wisdom couldn't protect him from the consequences of his choices, neither can our own intellect shield us from the repercussions of our actions. When we step away from the path of monogamous marriage, we're not just risking our personal relationship with God, we're risking the harmony and well-being of our society. Clearly, our choices have far-reaching ripple effects, impacting not just our lives, but also the harmony of our society. Let's remember the story of Solomon, the consequences of his choices, and let it serve as a reminder of the importance of adhering to God's design for marriage. Because our choices matter not just for us, but for the ripple effects they have on our world. Can the departure from divine design lead to chaos? This question invites us to delve deeper into the repercussions of straying from God's intended blueprint for marriage. The decision to embrace polygamy, for instance, is more than just a deviation from this design. It acts as a catalyst for relational strife. Consider the example of King David, a figure revered for his leadership, but also marred by the consequences of his polygamous unions. David's household was a cauldron of conflict, filled with divided allegiances that led to devastating familial discord. His sons, Amnon and Absalom, were embroiled in a sequence of tragic events, including rape, murder, and rebellion, all stemming from the fragmented family structure rooted in David's polygamy. This turmoil within David's family was not an isolated incident, but a manifestation of a broader societal pattern. When marriages depart from the divine design of monogamy, it's not just the immediate family that suffers. The repercussions ripple outward, leading to a fraying societal fabric. Families are the building blocks of society, and when these foundational units are destabilized, society at large feels the tremors. But amidst the chaos, there's a beacon of hope, a return to God's original design for marriage. Jesus himself reaffirms this in the Gospel of Matthew, stating, "Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh." This profound statement underscores the sacred bond between a man and a woman, a bond that is designed to be exclusive, not shared among multiple partners. The chaos that ensues from departing from divine design serves as a stark warning. It reminds us of the importance of adhering to God's blueprint, not just for the sake of our personal lives, but for the stability and harmony of society at large. As we learn from these examples, straying from God's design for marriage can lead to significant chaos and strife. This is a sobering reality, one that underscores the crucial importance of upholding God's design for marriage. How can we seek divine harmony in our relationships? We can start by understanding that harmony in relationships is not an accident, but a divine design, a melody composed by God and orchestrated in the symphony of life. This harmony is a triune relationship between divine love, justice, and the welfare of families, all of which are manifested within the context of monogamous marriages. Divine love is the first note in this harmony. It is a selfless love, a love that is patient, kind, and does not envy. It is the kind of love that God has for us and the kind of love we ought to have for our spouses. It is a love that is steadfast, not swayed by the winds of change or the storms of life. Justice, the second note, is about fairness and equality. In a monogamous marriage, justice is reflected in the mutual respect and consideration between spouses. It's about treating each other with dignity and making decisions that benefit both partners. The welfare of families, the third note, is the beautiful melody that results when divine love and justice play in perfect harmony. This harmony fosters an environment where children can thrive, where love is demonstrated and lessons are learned. In contrast, polygamy introduces a discord, a dissonance that disrupts the equilibrium of divine love and justice. It creates an environment of competition and inequality that can lead to tension and strife. It's like trying to play a symphony with a broken instrument. The music will be off, no matter how talented the musician. Paul's letter to the Ephesians encapsulates the harmonic ideal in relationships. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. This is the standard of love we should strive for, a love that is sacrificial, unselfish, and unconditional. To maintain this divine harmony, it becomes essential to uphold the sanctity of monogamous marriage. We must tune our hearts to the divine conductor, aligning ourselves with God's design for marriage and playing our part in the divine symphony of life. Opening. Do our actions align with divine intention? As we delve deeper into the scriptures, we see that there is a divine prohibition against polygamy. This prohibition converges with the principles of marital faithfulness and societal harmony, forming part of God's overarching plan for human relationships. A monogamous marriage is a manifestation of this divine intention, creating a unity that reflects the love and fidelity God desires for us. On the flip side, let's consider societies practicing polygamy. These societies demonstrate a divergence from God's divine blueprint. This divergence doesn't just affect personal spirituality, it also has repercussions on the community's well-being. By straying from the divine plan, we inadvertently create an environment prone to conflict and disarray, distancing ourselves from the harmony God intended. In essence, aligning our actions, particularly those regarding our marital choices, with divine intentions is paramount. Closing. Our actions, particularly in our marital choices, should strive to align with God's divine intentions. So, what have we learned from this exploration? We've delved into God's design for marriage, a design that emphasizes the sanctity of marital fidelity, the ripple effects of our choices, and the chaos that ensues when we stray from this divine blueprint. The harmony sought in relationships, the alignment with divine intentions, all point towards the importance of monogamous marriage. We've seen how the balance of fidelity, integrity, and resistance against temptation forms a protective hedge around marriage. We've also witnessed the ripple effects of choices, where faithfulness to God leads to ethical living and societal harmony. Conversely, the chaos of polygamy disrupts this harmony and creates a cycle of strife and division. In the grand scheme, the convergence of divine prohibition against polygamy with the principles of marital faithfulness and societal harmony reflects God's overarching plan for human relationships. By embracing God's design for marriage, we can truly reflect His love and foster a harmonious society.